apologize for getting here late, but I was working. I was getting out phone banking lists to our units so they can start calling to get out the vote. So what she talked about strategic planning, and that's what we have done. Our national office, and of course they've trained us to this is just ideal. We want to invite coalition partners to participate with us. We have what we call a voter activation network, where you can, once you get to training, you can log in and create lists. We have all of the precincts within the state of Georgia. I think we have maybe about 2,000, no, not 2,000, 2 million or 5 million voters. But we are concentrating on precincts. Our strategy is to ask churches, Greek organizations, as well as our units to adopt a precinct, our precincts. We have gotten a list of all of the precincts with 99% or more black voters in it. Most of them are in the Atlanta area, in Savannah, and in the major cities. But we have identified, they have identified them for us. So we can ask each unit, that's us, as well as Greek organizations, civic organizations, churches especially, to adopt a precinct, and then we would do the training. It's just a matter of adopting the precinct, and on election day, whether it's November the 8th or next year, then you would be responsible for monitoring that precinct, make sure the people get to the polls, as well as we also have a list of all of the unregistered voters in that precinct. So you would be expected to register all of those unregistered voters as well. It's just a matter of just printing the list out. The addresses are there. There are maps where their houses are. I mean, it just goes all the way. So it's an excellent tool for us to use, and it's very easy to use. What I did, because I found out that, bringing the clipboard and lists, having people sign up and then call, and although we are very personal, we like to talk to each other. I know as the state GOTV coordinator, I don't have time to really talk to everybody, so I brought my cards so you can call me instead of me circulating a list for you to sign up. You can call me or either email me and say, Sister Blake, I would be happy to participate. I would be happy to, my organization or my church would be happy to adopt a precinct. So just sign us up, and then I'll get back in touch with you with all of the information. I sure hope everybody here will participate with the NAACP. Our president, Ed DeBose, was not able to make it. His wife is ill, so he's in Columbus, Georgia, taking care of her. And that's why I'm here, because he's a great speaker too. And boy, thank you so much for that. I said, wow, she's talking about, she's covering all what we're doing. Because the other thing that they pointed out in our training, which we haven't done, we register voters. But what they would like us to do, and I think they have a budget or we can apply for a grant, they want us to continue to mail these voters and tell them, like you said, you can't read and all of the negative stuff about our president. And when you read headlines, you say, well, they could have turned that around. That's not really like, you start reading, that's not really what this is all about once you read the headline. And so we got to inform our voters. We got to encourage them. Like you said, most of them say, I don't know if I'm not going to vote this time around. But we got to send out, they suggest that we send out mailings to them, once we get our addresses and our precincts, send out postcard mailings to encourage them, to let them know what's going on in the community, and to also let them know that the local elections are so important. Yeah, we're talking about 2012. We need to be concentrating on 2014 too, because with the governor and this attorney general who's undermining the Voting Rights Act, I can't believe it. So we need to be as well, once we get to know our precincts and our people, and even the churches, to the point of adopting the precincts, adopted as a village, and be responsible for the spiritual well-being of those people in that precinct as well. So it's all in God's divine plan. But I wanted to, and we have the steps. Everything is here. Everything is online, and I sure hope you have access to a computer and the internet. Everything we do is online. I can email everything to you once you call me back and say I'm interested. We have an adopted precinct guidelines with all of the different steps and so forth, and we'll keep in touch. And we also have to report everything back to our national office as well, because this is a nationwide coalition. And Georgia is one of the 10 states that they are really targeting with hopes that we will be able to get out the vote. You know how the NAACP works. I was just at the Religious Affairs Summit, and yeah, they missed you.
I know.
Where we are asking and informing the religious affairs, the ministers throughout the nation. They were from all over the nation, and telling them about the same thing. So if you have any questions, this is the training book. What the national organization said, if we could get 50 people together, they would come down and do the training. And the training primarily covers voter registration, voter turnout, getting out the vote, and so forth, as well as telling you how to utilize the voter activation system. So what I would like to do, if you don't have any questions, just pass out my cards. Yes, sir.
2 questions.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned the fact that you got the list for the people who are registered and the people that are unregistered.
That's right.
First question, do you have the list for the people that's been purged?
Yes.
Second question is, you talked about the grant. How do people apply for this grant?
Well, we're waiting to find out about that, you know, how we get funds. They're just telling us the funds are there, but they haven't told us the sources for the funds yet. Now, last year I did apply for a couple of grants for us, you know, the NAACP grants through the NAACP. So I think they get so much funding themselves, and then we apply the units, other states apply for grants through them. But, you know, I would keep, you know, once I get you on my list, I would keep you, my distribution list, I would keep everybody informed.
Well, how about the purged people?
Well, you can look at it because, see, we have on this, once you print it out, you can see how many people voted. It's like 0/3. Or, you know, like if you didn't vote in the primaries or you didn't vote in the last election, like she said, in the 2008 election, it's on there. So you know that person did not vote, so he's automatically purged, but you still have his name and telephone number. So
thank you so much. Okay. Let's give her a hand.